welcome to another Just Flying episode. With Andrea caravanning today. This is National Park Aerodrome XNZNP. We're going to have a little trip over to NZTN Turangi. Yeah, it's not very much at Turangi Airfield, so I don't visit it very often, but we will do today and take a little trip over there. Assuming we can actually get out of this place. Yeah, caravan, it's not a small lightweight bush plane, is it? So, and I'm now wondering if we can actually clear those trees at the end of the runway. Probably would have been better taking off in the other direction, but well, a bit late now. Let's go for it. Airspeed's not building very much. Not as quickly as I'd hoped for. Come on, fly, get up, get it out. Ooh, that was probably not good. Close up look at the town. A little closer than we probably would have liked to. I'm getting the feeling there may be a few leaves and branches in the wheels. Come on, Mr. Plane. That's better now, isn't it? Yeah, I think we've just about survived the takeoff, didn't we? We are now flying. Yeah, then, so what shall we... don't know how much you lot are interested, but the Football European Championship starts very soon. Next week, I believe. I'm sure I was going to say I'll watch quite a bit of it, but probably nearer the case is to say I'll have it on. Yeah, that is quite a regular thing with a number of sporting events where, for instance, I might be doing some scenery making or whatever, and at the same time I'll have a football match on, which I'm not really watching. It's more like radio, and I can glance over at it when there's cheers from the crowd or the commentator gets excited or whatever. So yeah, you do get to see all the important bits without actually watching any of the game, really. Yeah, and I had a nice moment doing that a couple of years ago with the Football World Cup in Qatar. Doing something or other on the computer while the match was on, and I've got a phone call. Although first I should probably explain, back when I moved into this house I got my energy supplier sorted, and while I was doing that they said, did you know we do broadband as well? Nice enough package, like the price, so said yes, and I did sign up for that as well. Anyway, I'm messing around on the computer, making an airport or whatever, and the game is on at the same time, and I get a phone call from my energy supplier. Now, trying to break the ice first, this salesman says, have you been watching much of the football? To which I said, yeah, I've actually got the game on now. And he told me, well, actually, I'm working from home, and I've got the game on in the corner of the room myself with the sound turned down. So then he does get to business and asks what broadband supplier I'm currently with, where I tell him I've got the package from his company. So there's a moment of silence, so was that the phone call? You're trying to sell me a broadband package which I've already got with you? And he says, sorry about that, I'll get you taken off the list. And just as he's saying all that, somebody on TV has a great shot and hits the post. Knowing that he said he'd got the game on as well, oh, did you see that? He's like, oh yeah, that's a close one. And then we just started talking about the World Cup. Probably ended up with a good 15-minute chat, actually, of two totally random strangers on the phone talking about football and who's going to win. And he was telling me about a few of his friends had put some names in a bag and he'd drawn Holland, so we were discussing their chances. And yeah, slightly weird, but at the same time kind of a nice thing too. A little break in my day, probably his day as well. So, yeah, strange memory, but one that will probably always stick with me and put a little stupid smile on my face. Yeah, we'll see who phones me up this time during the championship. Personally, I don't do betting. I've probably had less than 10 bets in my entire life. But if I was to start, then Germany. Yeah, good team. And the tournament is in Germany as well this time, so they're the home team too, so I think I'm going to call them as winners. Even though I would like my own team, England, to win, but no, can't really see that happening if I'm honest. Although for other sport, looking forward to game number 1 of the State of Origin on Wednesday. Just in case you have no idea, State of Origin Rugby League, Queensland versus New South Wales in the annual 3-game series. And they often turn into my favourite and certainly most anticipated 3 sporting events of each year. So, yeah, definitely looking forward to that. Although, the same sport with Rugby League, but over here in the UK we lost somebody this week. Rob Burrow. He's an international player, very talented, by all accounts a nice guy too. And in 2019 he was diagnosed with motor neurone disease. Between him and his former teammate and his best friend, a guy called Kevin Sinfield, a lot of money did get raised, general awareness of motor neurone disease. But because of the disease, Rob very quickly ended up in a wheelchair, but his friend Kevin Sinfield ran lots of charity marathons for him and the foundation. Whenever people tried to make Kevin out to be some kind of hero for doing that, his response was always lovely. He always replied, like, "Nah, I'm just going for a run for a mate." This was probably about a year ago now. There was the Leeds Marathon, which started and finished at Headingley Stadium, which is the home of the Leeds Rugby League team where Rob Burrow played his entire career. And his mate Kevin Sinfield and their small team, they pushed Rob's wheelchair around the marathon course. And there was the lovely, very touching moment as they actually stopped just short of the finish line, and Kevin then picked his mate Rob up out of the wheelchair and carried him over the line. So with the disease, losing him not entirely unexpected, but sad just the same. Never met the guy personally, but I saw him play on TV and live, and he's physically quite a small guy compared to some of the giants who do play the game, but he was one tough little bastard. Thanks for the memories, Rob. Right then, I think that is the town of Tarangi just ahead. The airfield is over the far side of the town. It's a little grass runway kind of place, or actually there's quite a reasonable length of runway for what it is. Taking off was a little more exciting than I was hoping for, but landing we should be okay. I'm not expecting any overruns or ploughing through fences and trees, but as always I make no promises here. Yeah, I think the motto for my airline is, we guarantee that your flight will terminate in the general area of where you were wanting to go most of the time. But as to what happens to your luggage, see the small print in the contract where we're not actually responsible for any fire damage. And I don't think we're going to do this one, are we? A bit high and definitely too fast for a landing, because I don't think we're going to get rid of enough airspeed in time, are we? Yeah, no worries, we'll just go past and come back in from the other end. We don't have enough wind today for that to be playing a part in the landing, so it's not going to make much difference which direction we come in from. And in one way that's probably a better idea anyway, as the apron is just down here at this end of the runway, so when we do land from the far side, we're nearly there at the apron, rather than touchdown as I was thinking to start with, and then we'd have to turn around and taxi all the way back down the runway again. So yeah, probably just generally a better idea to do it this way regardless. We'll hopefully have our airspeed sorted a little better by the time we do get to final approach too. Yeah, nice view over Lake Taupo. Yeah, glad we can at least see where we're going this time, unlike parts of the last video I made. Quite a nice day on North Island, isn't it? Right, there we are then. That's probably still a little fast actually, but yeah, definitely is, but never mind. We'll probably be okay still. As long as we can get down and start braking early. Yeah, I don't think that was the best of landings, was it? But yeah, we're down and we have stopped. Yeah, I think if I'm being generous, we could say that was 3 wheels at the same time. Reality was probably that was nose gear first, wasn't it? Yeah, sturdy little things, these Cessna Caravans, which they kind of need to be sometimes when I'm flying them. But yeah, we did terminate the flight in the general area where we were wanting to go. So yeah, that's all good. And as a special bonus, yeah, I don't think we've set fire to any luggage either. Yeah, so mission accomplished.